Hi everyone. I don't think I can start this video off without saying thank you. Thank you. I really I don't know how to thank you more than to keep this channel up to date. Um, but I'd like to do a little bit more. A couple of quick changes before I let off into anything else. For the time being, for however long a reaction to this pandemic is going to last, I'd like to open up everything that I'll be posting on the channel to everyone. I really appreciate everybody signing up and following me here because that means you're invested in my journey. And so far it's been a long one, and I am, with this pandemic, only at rest before the new leg starts. I'd also like to ask you if I could send you a postcard. I send postcards to my family a lot, and I'd like to send a postcard to you. You are the first chosen few, and I really, really want to show my appreciation for you. So I'd like to give everybody a postcard. Write something special to each of you. So if you'd like to share your address with me, it would be great if you could shoot me an email at my personal email, which is Farrow10 FARROW10 Shoot me an email with an address and maybe a quick message, and I will be sure to send you a postcard soon. Now on to other things. I don't necessarily know how to do this internet personality thing, so I'm just gonna do myself. So, I'm not sure how many of you know this, but when this pandemic started, I was out in Seattle working on doing a video, and due to everything that happened with the pandemic, I got stuck in Seattle for a bit. Seemed like the best idea. My flight got really shaky, and I decided to stay there for a bit. I'm really gracious to Julia for her house and Jill for his company and my stay in Seattle. It was really a nice, peaceful time. I was able to get a lot of work done there, even though being cooped up inside. And we almost had a video together, but I didn't think it was quite my voice. We had to change a lot of plans, and it ended up just being in the apartment. It was fun, but putting something out there as an artist is a process that should be thought through a lot. And thinking through that, it wasn't right. I think I will be polishing up the recording that I was going to put out with that video and releasing it very soon. I'd like to add a couple of things to it before I release it to the world. Anyways, I was there in Seattle. I was talking to a couple of folks on the West Coast, and I talked to my friend Audra. She happened to be finishing her basement and working as a handy woman, and she said she might have some work for me, so I had headed down to Portland to get some experience at some handiwork, because I like to be versatile in my skills, because you never know how this music industry is going to go. And it just makes me a versatile person. So I went down there and we finished a deck. We finished a lot of her basement. We got her bedroom, her music room, and her living room done. A lot of the kitchen and the bathroom. The only thing that we didn't get done that I hope she is able to do it at a relaxed pace and maybe find another friend to help her out is the floor in the kitchen and bathroom and the tiling for the shower. Um, Eventually, hopefully, she'll be adding a hot tub outside, but I think I was going to be gone for that part anyways. So that's 2 months, a month in Seattle and a month in Portland. And now I am here at home. And it was really a surreal experience to come back home. I hadn't been back home since this pandemic started, and I really hadn't planned on being home until around maybe April 15th, but I think it was around April 20th. Gangsta Grass was just going to be getting back from Baffin Bay up in Canada, and then we were going to be going on a tour. We were going to be touring through a couple Canadian towns, doing some pretty big festivals. But now I'm back. I'm back home. It's May 1st. It's the start of a new month. I technically got back home last night, but I am greeting a full day here, and it is lovely. I get a CSA, a box of food from farms that's really sustainable. This isn't an ad. Anything that I say on here is not an ad. I use Hungry Harvest currently, and I only say currently because I would love to do some more research into where Hungry Harvest is getting their food, and I always think about a man with a horse and buggy that comes down the street during the summer and spring, and he sells his food from his cart. And I wonder if a CSA could be hooked up for him. So I can't fully support something that doesn't support that guy out there, because he also gives a lot of food for cheap as long as you buy in bulk, and it's great. I got so much corn in the cob and pear from him. Anyways, I'm using Hungry Harvest, and a box was in the fridge because I asked a neighbor to put a box in there, and a new box just arrived today, so I've got plenty of food here. And everything was clean. My place was clean. I Airbnb my place when I'm traveling. There had been a couple of tenants. Sometimes they don't leave it clean, but this time they left it really, really nice and clean. And I'm really happy about that. It was the first time in a very long time that I'm not going to say the very first thing I did. The first thing I did when I got back was get some food. I was very hungry. I hadn't eaten too much in the airport because, Corona time, so I'm careful. I went and got some food, and came back and ate it, and I unpacked everything. I didn't leave any bags around. I didn't leave clothes around. I didn't leave clothes in my bag to live out of my bag while I was here for a week. I unpacked everything, and it feels good. I'm really happy my place is where I land, because I worked really hard to get myself a place that was very comfortable to come home to, and I have a really nice cozy hovel here. Anyways, I'm rambling now. That has been where I've been, what I've been doing. I've still got the Prison Prophets podcast coming out very, very soon. I've had some creative questions to deal with myself in finishing the podcast, but should be coming out very soon. And I'm working on more tracks for the guys in that podcast with Wrench from Gangsta Grass. Gangsta Grass is doing a lot. Before this happened, Gangsta Grass was due to record a record. We were just signing a contract with a label, and we were going to release a record. We were just about to go into our second studio session when this hit. So we're going to finish everything else up via the airwaves, and we're trading tracks right now, and I'm thinking up ideas for the tracks. So I'm recording that. Gangsta Grass is also doing a live stream pretty consistently. Everyone takes a different night. I think we have Sundays and Wednesdays off, and I stream every Monday. And I do various things from playing along with my favorite funk tracks to singing to sharing a playlist of a variety of things. Last time I did a playlist, it was 70s classics that I loved. Um, so check that out on Mondays. Mondays, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And you might be able to see some updates on that on my Instagram page pretty soon. So, yes, Gangster Grass is doing a bunch. What else is there? What am I doing personally? I've recorded a couple of tracks while I was in quarantine in Seattle and in Portland, and I will be releasing those to you soon. I was also working on a live show with my friend Luke Chohaney, who is an excellent musician around Baltimore. I saw him today. He came to pick up a bike he let me borrow, and it's always good to chat with him. He is, out of a lot of people in the industry, he is, I feel like, a kindred spirit. A very kindred spirit. So I chatted with him earlier, and after I'm in quarantine for 2 weeks here because I'm playing by the rules, I'm staying away from two people. I just traveled. I don't know who had it around me. At the end of the video, I will tell you the thing that annoyed me most about flying during this time. Anyways, before it went down, me and Luke were working up an act, and I've got some recordings from that to release. I also worked with an MC out in Portland. We did a little track together about the coronavirus, so look forward to that too. I think that's all the updates I have for you for now. How do I say thank you more? How do I say thank you more? Thank you for all the beautiful things you do for me. How do I say thank you more? How do I say thank you more? How do I say thank you from the bottom of my heart? I'm gonna cut that silly song out. That airport story. So the airports aren't really populated right now. There's not a lot of people around. I walk in and there's one lady for United in the far corner of the airport. This is in Portland. There's like maybe 5 people in the line ahead of me, and I've got a really crazy trip because my first flight was canceled and I got put on this weird alternate, which was going from Portland to San Francisco that evening. I got on the flight at 7 p.m. or left at 7 p.m. Then from later that evening from San Francisco to San Fran, I think it was 11 p.m., San Fran to Chicago overnight, which I think I was awake for all of it. I was just doing editing on my computer. Yeah, I didn't sleep on that flight. I did eventually sleep a little bit in Chicago. Chicago was pretty sparse. Then in the middle of the day, more people started to come in the airport, and it was weird. There was also buckets everywhere in the Chicago airport to catch water because I guess their roof was leaking, which was weird. One thing I remember in the Chicago airport is this family that sat like in a corner away from me, but none of them were wearing masks. And I take this corona thing as seriously as I can, and I don't try to freak out about it. But they just seemed particularly a little bit gross. They all, breathing through their mouths, kids that didn't really listen that well, parents that looked like they were tired. So it was just like not the best vibe, and they're not wearing masks. So that was a little close to me. So I moved away. But later, when I do finally get on the flight, because I get into Chicago at 5 a.m. and my flight isn't until, when did I leave? 6? I think it was at 6. I think the flight was at 6. So I'm there at the airport all day. I nap at the airport. I finally get on the flight and I notice that there's a lot more people are on this flight than the other flights. Um, there's like it's like maybe a quarter full, maybe a quarter, maybe like a fifth full, but a lot of people have, I guess, cheaper seats, and they're all crowded in the back. And I don't get what the fuck sense that made at all. Um, that makes no sense to me. I don't know why they don't just change. They can change everything else. They can clean the whole plane, top to bottom, with hydrogen peroxide or whatever else kills every germ, and we still have to sit together. So I go towards the back because my seat's in the back, and I'm like, maybe not. So I sit a couple of seats ahead, and thinking like, all right, this is spacious. There's nobody behind me, nobody in front of me, and nobody. There's like people 2 seats away in every direction. Then all of a sudden, a group of people come on the plane. I thought it was one of the last, and they sit all around me, like literally all around me, behind me, in front of me, and I think I might have taken someone else's seat because they filled in right next to me there too. So, and they just sat down. They didn't ask no questions. They were just like, "This is our seat." A guy's jacket was touching me, and it's again, it's fine. I would love to be a human. I'd love to be a regular human, but the times being as they may, I'm just taking the proper precautions. I don't necessarily want to get sick, and I don't want to get others sick, so I immediately was like, I think I need to get up. I got up and just went a couple of rows up and had the same setup. Nobody in front of me, nobody behind me, nobody right next to me. That's all I needed. We all need space. Um, so yeah, that happened. That was the thing that annoyed me the most. That was the closest I got to anybody since I left Portland. So yeah, that's my airport story. Thanks. If you listen to all this, thank you. You must like me, which is beautiful. Thank you so much. You'll hear more from me soon, and I'll be releasing some more tracks, some more music, and some more conversations really soon. Be safe, be healthy, be Pharaoh. Out.